Good evening, everyone. What a great evening. It's always a good evening when we get some residents out here, and today we're going to have some special proclamations, which is a little unusual for our board, but a great thing. We also have the Cub Scouts, mainly fifth graders from Ogden School here, which is wonderful. And we have Senator Mike Porfirio in the audience, which is always wonderful. Beautiful day out, so hopefully everyone was able to get out and walk around Grange. But let me start by saying that we welcome all of you and all of you that are watching. The video of this meeting is streamed live on YouTube and will also be available on Facebook and the Village's website. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask Clerk Saladino to call the roll.
Trustee Augustine.
Here.
Trustee Gale.
Here.
Trustee O'Brien.
Here.
Trustee Peterson.
Here.
Trustee Thompson.
Here.
Trustee McGee. Absent. And President Kukor.
Here, and Trustee McGee had a death in the family and is unable to make it tonight. So we are thinking about her and her family. With that, we do have the Cub Scouts to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if the Cub Scouts could go to the center, and if we could get a microphone so that they could introduce themselves, and then we can start. No, you're going to go closer to that podium right there.
Over here, we're going to use this microphone.
That'll help the cameraman.
All right, I'll kick us off. Okay, we are Pack 39 out of Ogden School, and I'll have the Scouts each say their name and what grade they're in, please.
Hello.
What's your name? Hello, Sebastian Clark. What grade are you in? Fifth grade. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Moving right along.
Hello, my name's Aiden Arroyo, and I am in fourth grade.
Terrific.
Stay over here, please, so we can do the pledge.
Hello, my name is Joey Wargo, and I'm in first grade.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Ford Carmody, and I'm in second grade.
Hello, my name is Henry Hausman, and I'm in fifth grade. Hello, my name is Sebastian, and I'm in fifth grade.
Hello, my name is Jack, and I am in second grade.
Thank you very much, guys. We really do appreciate you coming, and we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The older two don't want to participate in the pledge, or whatever you want.
Den Chiefs, come on over.
You might as well introduce yourselves too.
These are our Den Chiefs. They help from Troop 39.
I'm Pietro. I'm in 11th grade.
Hi, my name is Ben. I'm in 11th grade.
All right, but Pietro, we have to put you on the spot just for a second because I know a little bit about your background. Why don't you tell us a little bit where you came, where you're from, and what you're doing in our fine town?
Okay, I'm an exchange student from Italy, and I've been here for 6 months. I go to LT, and I'm in the track and field program. So,
Well, welcome to Grange. Thanks for coming.
thank you.
Ben? Sebastian, sorry, Sebastian. This up.
And Renee, I'm not sure if you introduced yourself, but Renee Clark is the volunteer leader of this group. And thank you, and thank you to all the parents that came out tonight. We appreciate it. We understand that too. Absolutely. Thank you for coming. We do appreciate it. Tonight, we have appointments and reappointments to our advisory boards and commissions. Again, we appreciate all the residents that volunteer. We, as a board, rely on our boards and commissions to investigate matters, determine what's appropriate for our town, and we really appreciate everyone that volunteers their time. There were vacancies on the Design Review and the Environmental Quality Commissions, as well as the Zoning Board of Appeals. In addition, some of the terms of the current commissioners were expiring in April, and so I'd like to make the following appointments and reappointments. To the Design Review, Lee Ruda and Matt Dvorak. To the Environmental Quality Commission, John Merkovitz, Amanda Lamonica Weir, and Juan Miguel. And I know that John's here, so John, again, we appreciate your willingness to serve. Thank you. I'd like to reappoint Ryan Lawver, Madonna Walsh, and Dan Mullen to the EQC. I'd like to appoint Lauren Davala to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Reappoint Matt Datillo to the Zoning Board of Appeals. And with that, I would ask for a motion and a second to approve the appointments.
I move to approve the appointments as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Gale. Trustee Peterson, any discussion on the appointments? Seeing none, do we need a roll call on that? Just a voice vote. Clerk Saladino, if you could lead us in that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous.
And that passes unanimously. The next thing that we have up is the proclamation. And this is really unusual for LaGrange. Maybe won't be so unusual going forward. But it was such, I was so impressed by what occurred. And what that is having Ogden Avenue designated a school crossing zone. And the way it first came about is Chris Serra, who's here, and we will be introducing shortly, came because he and his wife, Michaela, moved into LaGrange not very long ago. And they live a couple houses north of Ogden and thought, the traffic is crazy, and we have all these schools. Something has to be done. And he wrote me, and I wrote back probably a response that I wrote back maybe 20 times saying, I absolutely agree. I would like nothing more to have something done, but the road's controlled by IDOT, and IDOT won't do it. And, you know, I think maybe the best would have Chris kind of just say in a few words how he got it started. So we have Chris and his wife, Michaela, if they could come up and then or maybe to the microphone. And we have Christopher, who's 6. We have Vinny, who's 4. We have Madeline, who's 10 months. And we have Michaela's mother, Ann, who sent 2 daughters to Marquette. So she gets some credit for that, of course. So if you guys could come up and get wherever you're most comfortable. But Chris, you tell us really how this story began.
Is it, okay, we're good. Yeah, so President Kukler responded that it was IDOT to seem to be a challenge, and so I'm not one to take no for an answer lightly. So I did a bunch of research and figured out who our state representative and state senator was, and it was an easy solution. Michaela and I watch Ogden all day long. We see trucks barreling down 50 miles, 60 miles an hour, a mere 4 feet from my 10-month-old daughter, and said this is unacceptable. And the best way to move forward is to show the politicians, the decision makers, what we have to live with every day. So I invited Representative LaShawn Ford to my house for coffee and to walk my kids to school. And he was gracious enough to take me up on that offer. And Senator Porfirio and Village President Kukler joined me shortly after. And within 3 minutes of that meeting, I think we were ready to move forward. I think they had a draft letter to IDOT before we even finished that meeting. And we had the same idea. If IDOT's going to say no, they're going to say no to our face. So we brought IDOT, and the village really rallied around us with St. Francis and Ogden Elementary School. And we did the same thing. We walked our kids to school. And by the end of that meeting, I think everybody was in agreement that a school zone was needed. So I just want to say thank you to LaGrange, Senator Porfirio, LaShawn Ford, President Kukler, and all you guys' help in doing this. Thank you.
And thank you, Chris. We really do appreciate it. Keep standing up there. And if Senator Porfirio could join you, and I want to read the proclamation for both of you and Representative Ford. I think Senator Porfirio would really rather the Sarah family come up.
Come on, boys.
Okay, I'm glad we got the group up there. Whereas pedestrian safety, and particularly the safety of school children, is an utmost priority for the village board and our community, and whereas Ogden Avenue is a state route with traffic volumes in excess of 26,000 vehicles per day, and whereas 6 schools and preschools are located along Ogden Avenue within roughly a half mile of one another, whereas the village has long sought speed reductions along Ogden Avenue to improve public safety, whereas LaGrange resident Christopher Serra initiated a grassroots campaign to engage state lawmakers in supporting the safety of our area's school children, and whereas Senator Porfirio and Representative LaShawn Ford worked closely with the Illinois Department of Transportation to declare a portion of Ogden Avenue a school zone with a reduced 20-mile-per-hour speed limit. And whereas the Illinois Department of Transportation has recently designated Ogden Avenue from Gilbert to Ashland as a school zone, thus improving the safety of our area children and parents. Now, therefore, Mark Kukler, President of the Village of LaGrange, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Village of LaGrange, do hereby proclaim that the effort of Christopher Serra shall be met with our sincerest appreciation for his service to the residents of LaGrange. So, Chris, if you come on up, we can give you our proclamation, and everybody can congratulate you. Excellent. I know the board wants to shake your hand, so you have to work both sides of the. I'll just summarize. So as Chris is doing that, I can't let Michaela not be recognized because Chris's wife, Michaela, as I said, went to Marquette along with her sister, and Michaela is in the Hall of Fame at Marquette because she has the fastest time. So we don't often get a Hall of Famer from Marquette in our presence. So we do appreciate that. Look forward to all the coaching, I'm sure, that you'll be doing in your future to make everybody run fast in our neighborhood, in our community. We also have proclamations for Representative Porfirio and Senator Porfirio and Representative Ford. And I just want to kind of summarize for the proclamation for Senator Porfirio. Again, whereas the 6 schools and preschools are located within a half mile of each other, Senator Porfirio understood these concerns and worked closely with the Illinois Department of Transportation to declare a portion of Ogden Avenue a school zone. And the reason we're making this proclamation is obviously Senator Porfirio and Representative Ford dedicate their life to making their districts better, safer. But this is just so important to LaGrange. We appreciate all your efforts that you do on our behalf, but we really, really want to recognize you because you went above and beyond. You didn't say no. You could have taken the easy way out and just kicked it to IDOT where it would have failed. You two literally decided, with Sarah's encouragement, to take this up, and we appreciate that. So if we could give a round of applause. And Senator, we do have a copy for you. I don't know if we can deliver it to you, or if you want to come up. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. He has a time.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And just for the record, Clerk Saladino's correctly telling me that I should mention we do have a proclamation for Representative Ford also. Representative Ford wasn't able to attend tonight, but for the record, we want to make sure that he knows how much we appreciate his efforts in getting and working with IDOT to make sure that it was a school zone passed. So, as I said before, the 6 schools and preschools that are located on Ogden Avenue within a half mile of each other, Representative Ford understood our concerns and worked closely with the Illinois Department of Transportation to declare a portion of Ogden Avenue a school zone with a reduced 20-mile-per-hour speed limit. We really appreciate Representative Ford's efforts in that regard, and we'll make sure that he gets a copy of our proclamation. Moving on, this past Saturday, I had the opportunity to host our first coffee with the village president. It was nice. We had several residents show up, mainly to just talk about different things with the village. We had some talking about all the improvements that they've seen over the last 30 years, different ones talking about various programs that they're really excited and happy about. It was great to hear. One of the residents talked about e-recycling, and we've done some research. We're going to notify him of that, but hopefully put something on our webpage too about the availability of e-recycling. And since I have Senator Porfirio there, hopefully we can maybe do something together where we have an e-recycling day at the village and with your office, something like that. So we are going to continue to work on that. The coffee with the president will be a quarterly thing, so we invite everybody to come to the next one and share your thoughts and concerns. Moving on, Spring Cleanup Day is scheduled for Monday. Well, it's scheduled for the week of March 18th. If you live north of 47th, that would be Monday, March 18th, day after St. Patrick's Day. So get out your stuff that weekend. That does allow the people that are collecting and reusing most of your treasures, and that keeps them out of the landfill. So again, please put your things out Saturday and Sunday, and I bet most of this stuff will be repurposed. We do want to tell you, and then I'll read everything, but I do want to say at least twice that you do have to fix garbage stickers, but if possible, affix those Monday morning. What happens a lot of times is you put your 3 stickers on the dresser and somebody says, I need that dresser for my house, and they take the dresser and your stickers, and then the garbage man says, you don't have stickers, and it becomes a problem. So if you wait till the morning to put them on, it seems to work better. But let me read the script for the people at home. Spring Cleanup is scheduled for the week of March 18th. It's an annual event that will take place on your regular refuse collection day. Participants have the opportunity to set out an unlimited amount of household refuse for collection. The program requires simply affixing 1 special cleanup sticker or 2 regular garbage stickers. I misspoke when I said 3. It used to be 3, but Flood Brothers agreed to reduce that to 2. So 2 stickers to a Flood Brothers cart, personal can with handles, or a bag, and place it curbside in the parkway on the day of their collection. For residents north of 47th Street, this will occur Monday, March 18th. And for residents south of 47th, it will be Thursday, March 21st. Bulk items for pickup can be placed curbside for collection as early as Thursday, March 14th. Any items intended for collection must be placed out for collection by 7 a.m. on collection day. But again, we really want you to put them out starting on Saturday. Trucks will be coming by, and we want that stuff to be repurposed. We don't want it to go to the landfill. Residents are encouraged to affix their stickers on the morning of pickup. Those seeking more information are encouraged to visit the village's website. It is also Restaurant Week here in LaGrange. Please come out. Tomorrow is going to be another lovely day. Walk to downtown LaGrange. Go to our many restaurants. Enjoy yourself. Even Chad's Cheesecake is getting involved. It's a wonderful opportunity. Kathy, I know you're in the audience. Do you want to add any more to Restaurant Week?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this Restaurant Week. We have 47% more restaurants this year than we did last year. We've had great media coverage, and we do have Chad's Cheesecake as a sponsor of Restaurant Week, which we're thrilled about. So the only thing that's left is for everyone to make their reservations. So enjoy. It runs from the 22nd of March through, 22nd of February through March 3rd. And it's going to be a wonderful event. Thank you.
Kathy, on behalf of the LGBA, thank you for all your work that you've done, the work that the LGBA has done. What an impressive number, 47%, more participants. We love it. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your efforts along with Ripson Communication in getting the word out. Charity's now a movie star, and I'm sure people are asking for her autograph. So we do appreciate both the village staff, LGBA, and the restaurants for the hard work that they do to make sure that our town continues to shine bright. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And with that, I would ask if there's a manager's report.
There is, and thank you, President Kukler, and good evening, everyone. Item A under the manager's report is the proposed fiscal year 2024 to 25 capital projects fund budget. Tonight is first of several upcoming meetings regarding the village's upcoming fiscal year budget, with a workshop meeting planned for March 16th to discuss the village's operating budget. Capital budgeting is part of the village's annual budgeting process and accounts for substantive investments in village facilities, roads, sewer, and water systems. In the coming year, major projects that are planned as part of the capital projects fund include the reconstruction of parking lot 3 with permeable pavers, the resurfacing of Brainerd, Shawmut, and Kenman as part of the neighborhood streets resurfacing program, and the rehabilitation of the rear bay floor in the fire department. Significant effort has been put into developing the proposed capital projects fund budget, and I'd like to thank all those that contributed to developing it, and in particular, I'd like to thank the efforts of Finance Director Micah and Director Colby for their efforts. I'd like to invite Director Micah to provide an overview of the finances associated with the fund.
So the proposed FY 2024 budget includes an annual contribution to the capital project fund of $2.5 million. The contribution will serve to fund currently planned projects as well as to support the future capital planning. The fund also includes transfers to debt service. Transfers include debt service payments for the $11.6 million sewer improvement bonds issued in 2015. The sewer fund also includes $2.9 million, which is part of the 2015 sewer improvement bond to complete the sewer improvement programs. And looking ahead, as the village endeavors to develop capital plans aimed at most effectively leveraging available resources, strategic financing options will be developed for consideration as these projects are further considered. I'd like to invite Director Colby to provide an overview of the items included in this year's proposed capital projects fund budget.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Micah and Village Manager Knight. And thank you, President Kukler and Board of Trustees for the opportunity to present this year's capital budget. Kind of just give you some outlines. As discussed, I'll discuss the capital projects we intend to pursue this upcoming year. I'll begin with discussing our stormwater and sewer programs, then run through our neighborhood street programs, and then cover some of our more routine capital maintenance programs. I'll pause for questions and comments or discussions at the end of each section, and then we'll have time for discussion at the conclusion of the capital budget presentation. So beginning with the stormwater and sewer programs, specifically the projects south of 47th Street for sewer improvements. The board approved engineering task orders for a design budget at an estimated budget of $670,000 for this fiscal year to perform engineering for the 50th Street project. The phase 1 costs for the construction of a trunk sewer along 50th Street from East Avenue to Stone Avenue are estimated at $22,159,000. Design plans have been submitted for permitting with regulatory agents for that project, so we continue to move forward. Proposed FY 24-25 capital budget funds includes $700,000 for preparing phase 2 or additional design engineering for the development of a construction bid package for 50th Street laterals, which would be a continuation of the trunk sewer project. Construction cost estimates for phase 2 lateral constructions exclude Depression 1, but are estimated at $11,780,000. The inclusion of phase 2 engineering services in 24-25 are proposed to keep the project moving forward. Pending litigation will affect the exact timing of the south of 47th Street construction projects. Construction duration for each phase is estimated between 18 and 24 months. Accordingly, the proposed budget includes legal expenses and other cost factors, such as the increasing cost of construction over time. Grant funding available through MWRD, FEMA, State of Illinois, and Cook County has been pursued to offset some of these large project costs. MWRD has shared their support for a cost-sharing agreement under the MWRD Stormwater Partnership Program, which is expected to finance 50% of the project's construction costs. The terms of the partnership with MWRD will be finalized as part of an intergovernmental agreement or an IGA. Options to address Depressional Area 1 outside of the 50th Street project are currently being pursued and can be expected to represent additional budgetary need once a feasible option has been identified. Next, we discuss the work and the effort for the areas north of 47th Street in terms of sewer improvements. In FY 23-24, $140,000 in funds were allocated for reviewing and updating modeling for the area north of 47th Street. Using that model, the study would then develop recommendations that will aid in the development of a comprehensive stormwater management plan for the areas north of 47th Street or the North Basin. The data collection and model development is complete, and our engineering team is working on finalizing recommendations. Initial recommendations are planned for presentation in April of 2024. Project outcomes include the refinement of costs and projects planned in the area, a review of feasibility through permitting agents, principally MWRD, an assessment of flood reduction benefits and the cost benefits for potential projects. Updated plans derived from this work will be used to seek out funding opportunities as well as evaluate the viability of interim solutions. The study's findings will be incorporated into the ongoing infrastructure capital planning effort to align street system improvements with below-grade infrastructure improvements wherever conditions provide. Improvements are also coordinated with other local agencies where possible and necessary. Thirdly, for this area, we have the sewer and televising lining program. The budget includes continuing our annual televising cleaning of approximately 4 to 5% of the sewer system each year. Proposed for this budget is increase the amount of sewer lining from $400,000 to $600,000. The increase in sewer rates will support this funding for future years and allow us to correctly identify needs within our system. The goal of this program is to identify and invest in lining sewers before we reach the point of costlier excavation and replacement becomes necessary. This additional investment is predicted to result in savings in the long run. We completed our sewer repair and lining construction this past fall at a cost of $460,000. Our next expected construction effort would be anticipated in the spring of 2025. We'll pause here if there's any immediate questions on our proposed stormwater or sewer programs.
Trustees, any questions so far? Trustee Thompson.
Thank you, President Cook. If we're able to come up with a plan for the Depression Area 1, will that be in addition to the capital budget for 2025 fiscal year? Or?
Yeah, it's a combination of finance and engineering question, right? But the way the plan is constructed, there's flexibility to address the projects as they.
Okay, cool.
Seeing no other questions, Director Colby, please continue.
Okay, moving on to our neighborhood street resurfacing and hardscape programs. The neighborhood resurfacing programs serve to resurface and repair neighborhood streets on a defined schedule using a data-driven approach. The current upcoming street reconstruction servicing projects include resurfacing Brainerd Avenue from Brewster Avenue to 47th Street with a project length of 1.08 miles. The first phase of this project was completed this past summer with water main installed on Brainerd from Ogden Avenue to 47th Street, including directionally boring underneath the BNSF rail line, which is a significant engineering undertaking to ensure we have the most up-to-date system in resilient areas. The part of that effort, we improved 131 water service connections to homes and eliminated 80 lead service connections impacting homes along this mile of water main. The road resurfacing effort will follow this spring here in 2024. The estimated total cost of that project is $2.92 million. The federal cost share of that is $2.2 million. The village funding $718,000 of that. The project will address pavement patching, driver repairs where impacted, sidewalk repairs, curb and gutter repairs, sidewalk installation, structure adjustment, combination sewer lining, parkway restoration, and pavement marking. Funding for the resurfacing will come from Surface Transportation Funding Program for the federal cost share component of the construction. We're also applying the Invest in Cook grant of $250,000, which we sought, and a DCO grant of $100,000 to help offset the cost of this program. Resurfacing project and that same federal cost share project will include resurfacing of Shawmut from the Indiana Harbor Belt to Kemen Avenue, which is a project length of approximately 0.2 miles. The village cost for this component is $140,000. Really the highlight of that section is the project will include adding new sidewalk along Kemen Avenue to connect the existing sidewalk systems in LaGrange Park and provide pedestrian access to Gordon Park. Really want to highlight that piece. Kind of looking forward in 26-27, we're working also in a federal funding program for the resurfacing of Gilbert Avenue from Ogden to 47th. This is also would be a STP-funded joint project submitted with Western Springs. Design would be funding with Invest in Cook grant, so that's another additional cost savings there. We will need to enter an IGA with Western Springs as this gets closer to execution, expected later this year for design. In terms of the planning side and again, preparation, in 24-25, we've set aside $750,000 for planning or conducting phase 1 work. This investment in engineering will allow us to increase competitiveness and applications for funding for arterial streets that qualify for federal funding based on scoring criteria. The further along planning and shovel-ready projects may be, the higher the probability is for funding. Pay-as-you-go funding for $3 million in streets and $3 million for water main is programmed for 26-27. Additional streets planned for replacement include those associated with the 50th Street Stormwater Project, which represents an opportunity to improve the streets as part of the installation of additional stormwater. Again, keeping with anytime we do work underground, we want to address the street and do that in the proper sequence. The needs of the street program outpace available funding, so we will be able to evaluate the opportunity to improve underground infrastructure such as sewer and water at the same time as road improvements. We'll also look at resurfacing opportunities to improve the overall street condition for projects that don't require full reconstruction. So that's really the main output of the capital improvement plan, is to identify those streets where we have infrastructure improvements and compare and contrast that with those streets that do not, where the condition warrants improvement, where you can make those investments sooner. Patching and road maintenance condition improvement strategies as outlined in the last street condition survey will continue to be pursued with the goal of being optimize investments in village pavement based upon life cycle maintenance strategies. These maintenance approaches extend the service life of pavement and reduce costs. One such new program is the street patching program, which was successful in its first year and one that we intend to continue into 24 and 25. Other hardscape or paved service improvements include sidewalk and parking lot improvements. We would highlight our 50-50 sidewalk programs, an annual program that splits the cost for public sidewalk repairs, and we are actively seeking to execute that project and to occur this upcoming spring with those who are currently on the list. Funds of this program are also intended to support saw cutting and the correction of trip hazards on an as-needed basis. We are currently coordinating with residents in the program to complete this project this upcoming spring. Again, another larger project for us this year is a parking lot 3 permeable paver lot replacement. The surface parking lot located north of the intersection of Harris and Madison, near to the Elm. The parking lot consists of 38 parking spaces, and we intend to improve it with permeable pavers at an estimated cost all in of $557,000. MWD's Green Infrastructure Partnership was approved in support of this cost for $197,000. We also applied for a DCO grant of $125,000 for the project. The work is scheduled to begin in this early summer of 2024, and will include coordinating regarding parking alternatives to reduce impact to the central business district during the 10-week construction timeline. Take a pause here if there's any questions on our street or hardscape program. Yes, Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity.
Trustee Agassi.
Thank you, President Kukler. Street patching program seemed to, as you said, it was a great success, holding up pretty well in my neighborhood and everywhere I look. So I'm glad to see that we're doing that again. Do we Do we know, we probably know by now what streets, chunks of streets are
Yeah, so-
ongoing, or can people call and suggest that maybe we take a look at
Yeah,
this?
so we're going to use the results of kind of the condition of the street paired with streets where we don't expect to have a near-term infrastructure improvement, so we're not doing sewer, water, or any other below-grade work. And then kind of what we're evaluating as part of the infrastructure capital plan is what are those streets where patching makes sense and whether or not it makes more sense to resurface entirely. We're trying to find the right mix of the needs, where the infrastructure below grade is going to drive some of that, so it's all part of a mix. So there may be places where there's a street segment where the conditions such where it warrants investment, where it's just a small isolated, that's where the patching program fits in well, if it doesn't fit in other maintenance strategies. But there also might be the opportunity for, again, full resurfacing, which is even, to me, a more lasting improvement than just even the patching.
Yeah, of course. But just more expensive. Okay, so two more. The 50/50 program, sidewalk program, is that all filled up for the year, or can residents still submit for that?
So,
if they've got a bad
we're working through that list currently. It's always a rolling list. We'll work through that as based on the funding that we have, our estimated funding contribution. We'll go out to bid, see where the marketplace is at, and then kind of work as expedient as that. So if anyone wants, they can shoot me an email, and I'll add them to the list, and we'll see where we end up.
Rick, what is your email for those watching at home?
It's Richard Colby at LaGrange.il.
Okay, so if you've got a bad sidewalk in front of your house, it's up to you to pay for that, or you can apply for the 50/50 and get that cost split. Last question on the permeable lot at Lot 3. That's the lot that is next to the Elm, kind of across from Cossett on Harris.
Correct.
Small lot. And are all the businesses already kind of aware that that's going to impact them this summer? Do we notice that?
We've been talking about this. I think we are literally right in that moment where we would start to give very formal notice about what's anticipated.
Okay.
We expect to go out to bid here shortly, too. Once all those come together, then next step would be to notify the businesses. We've been for a couple of years now.
Thank you.
Just to, Rick, did you want to say something more?
Nothing additional.
Just to follow up on that, if anybody is ever looking to contact our staff by email, you could go to our webpage and click on the directors are all, their web pages are there. It's usually their first initial last name at lagrangeil.gov. Continuing on. Oh, sorry, Trustee Thompson.
Just one question on the Gilbert Avenue 47 south to the city boundary, or the village boundary. On page
Actually, I believe that's actually the northern portion of that. Let me look real quick.
That's backwards.
Correct.
Thank you. Never mind. That answers it.
It's the northern portion, which is rated for condition. We just recently, not too long ago, did southern portion.
So in Gilbert Avenue, that's where we're working with Western Springs?
That's correct.
Because as most people know, Gilbert divides Western Springs and LaGrange, and so we worked together. Instead of just doing either the east side or west side, we're doing it together with some grant funding, so that helps.
Thank you. Okay, next we'll discuss a few of our more routine capital maintenance programs. For example, our tree planting program aims to plant a replacement tree for each parkway tree that's removed due to disease or damage, and serves to fill vacant parkway locations with trees. We plant an average of 194 trees per year for the last 4 years. This is our continuation with a very successful program. We look forward to celebrating our 41st year as a Tree City USA, and as a recipient of the Tree City USA Growth Award for our sustainable tree management strategies. The village's continued investment in this area has reduced available planting locations to under 100, which nearly 10,000 trees in our inventory is less than 1% of unplanted locations remaining. The village is nearing a kind of a rarefied air in terms of being at a point where only the trees that are removed each year will need to be replaced. This is a result of steady and consistent stewardship in this area, so something noteworthy. Our crack filling program is a preventative maintenance activity which extends the life of expectancy of our street, and part of our whole maintenance approach in terms of trying to find the right dollars to spend on our street programs to extend their service life. The proposed budget includes approximately $25,000, which is an approximate increase of $5,000 over some prior years. This increase is in line with the recommendation from the street condition assessment. Thermoplastic street marking is part of an overall effort to improve pedestrian and vehicle safety. Restriping various street marks that are damaged or worn from vehicles, plows, or other deteriorating conditions, and improve the visibility of the markings. The village contracts annually with thermoplastic markings through a company of the Northwest Municipal Conference in order to take advantage of economies of scale. Proposed budget includes $25,000 for this item, which is an increase of $5,000 over some prior years. The LaGrange Road train station, Metro has advised that they're planning an exterior improvement to LaGrange Road train station. Design for this project has started and construction is expected in 2024. We're currently working with them to confirm where they're at in their acquisition cycle. Metro is seeking to install a roof material that would restore the historical appearance of the station, which may require financial support from the village. The initial estimated cost from Metro was $90,000, and a potential funding source could be anticipated remaining funds from a Stone Avenue station improvement budgeted in FY 23-24 of $70,000. Again, as previously noted, we intend to correct the fire department apparatus rear bay floor over the course of the fiscal year 24 and 25. The apparatus bay floor in the rear bay of the fire department is in need of replacement. The floor, which is the space allocated for parking the command vehicles, is supported by scaffolding. The estimated cost of completing this improvement is $300,000 and is included in the budget. We also included in that fund approximately $40,000 for replacement of the apron and the sidewalk improvement in the fire department and police departments. We hope to execute those improvements this upcoming spring ahead of the sequencing of the improvements of the rear and the fire department. There are a number of projects that are in various stages of closeout or awaiting external agency or contractor action. They're shown in the budget as retainage or other budgetary expense. So worth noting, projects that are substantially complete but awaiting final closeout: Streetscape Phase 2, Edgewood Avenue rehabilitation, Brainerd Avenue water main installation, Stone Avenue station improvements with IDOT, which takes a few years to close out, as well as the YMCA redevelopment with Locust Avenue improvements, which we're still awaiting the final closeout. There are any questions on the above projects? Otherwise, we'll conclude with a summary of the capital projects that are planned this upcoming fiscal year, and would open it up including remarks from Village Manager Knight and any questions the board has pertaining to the capital program.
So before Village Manager Knight's comments, any questions from the board? Trustee Augustine.
Thank you, President Kukler. I have one about the LaGrange Road train station. It sounds like Metro's going to be redoing the roof. Their portion is 90 and our portion is 70?
So the way that's structured is they're bidding it as the asphalt roof that they intend, and then they're going to bid an alternative for the historic shingle that we anticipate. The estimated cost for that is $90,000.
Okay.
So it'd be the difference in price. If that
okay, and we have 70 for it, so we have
about
hopefully
70,
more than enough.
71,000 for that. But we'll have to see where exactly the bids come in.
Okay.
To know our actual price.
How
This is the interior. I mean, again, their project is largely looking at the exterior. They are doing some of the interior components of that. There's elements that we do as part of a maintenance agreement. We point out quarterly the defects that are on the interior. I do know they have some of the interior related mechanical, plumbing, and painting are intended with a little bit of flooring work. So I wouldn't call it as much of a complete overhaul of the interior, but I do believe they're noting all the notable defects, door frames, and things that we've been pointing out. My understanding, they intend to repair those at the time of the project.
Okay, thanks.
Village Manager.
Thank you, President Kukler, and thank you, Director Colby, for the presentation. Just to recap, the proposed capital fund budget for next fiscal year includes sound investment in the village's street system, resurfacing a parking lot located in the central business district, and investment in a village facility to restore parking surface. The budget includes funds that have been allocated towards a major flood mitigation project in the 50th Street project, as well as funds to support additional flood mitigation efforts as needs arise. Through the conduct of engineering studies, such as the North Basin Study and Infrastructure Capital Plan, the village continues to gather data and construct a comprehensive understanding of the village's infrastructure needs. Through an understanding of these needs, the village will be positioned to well prioritize within the identified needs and consider means by which they can be addressed, while at the same time meeting mandates such as lead service replacement requirements. That concludes staff's presentation, and I'm happy to respond to any additional questions.
Thank you, Village Manager Knight. Thank you, Director Colby, for all really the staff's work. I know that it was every department contributed to make sure that it went so smoothly this year and really hit the high points. I appreciate, Rick, your efforts in that regard. We appreciate you continuing to look for all the grant opportunities, really all the department heads with that. We do need those grants, and we have Senator Porfirio still in the audience. I know that he's been working real hard the last couple of months to try to secure us funding. I know it's premature to say, so I won't say any more, but we do appreciate your efforts, Senator, and we look forward to, in the future, having a big announcement and celebration with that. So thank you, and please continue your efforts. I do want to emphasize to the board and to the public the $2.5 million being transferred from the general fund to the capital fund. Last year we did it, and it was pretty much, it had never been anywhere close to that in the past. It had been, $1 million until during cost containment, the last recession, it went down to about half that amount. And we slowly were able to bring it up to the $1 million. But in the last 2 years, this board has said we are committed to capital and infrastructure, and we've dedicated $2.5 million, and we have obviously a lot of different needs. But this board has said we want $2.5 million to go to the capital funding. It's 1.5 times more than whatever's been contributed in the past. So I think it's a fantastic job on behalf of the board. And again, thank you for the staff. With that, any other questions before we move on? Seeing none, we need to read the items. I know. I'm just looking for my where I found it. Clerk Saladino, I'd like to request that you read the items on the consent agenda, followed by those appearing on the current business.
Matters on the consent agenda will be considered by a single motion and vote because they already have been considered fully by the board at a previous meeting or have been determined to be of a routine nature. Any member of the Board of Trustees may request that an item be moved from the consent agenda to current business for separate consideration. Item A, minutes of the Village of Grange Board of Trustees regular meeting, Monday, February 12th, 2024. And item B, consolidated voucher 240226. Current business. This agenda item includes consideration of matters being presented to the Board of Trustees for action. Item A, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with Board of Education of Lyons Township High School, District Number 204, for reciprocal reporting, digital image access, and a school resource officer.
Thank you, Clerk Saladino. At this time, I'd ask if there's any public comments on matters on tonight's agenda. Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda in a second.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Gale.
I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Augustine. Any discussion?
Thank you, President Kukler. As previously stated, I would recuse myself from voting on any agenda items related to the village prosecutor.
Thank you. Any other trustee comments on the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'd ask Clerk Saladino for a roll call vote.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee Peterson.
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Moving on to current business, we have a resolution for approving an intergovernmental agreement, and this has been moved to Trustee O'Brien for presentation.
Thank you, President Kukler. Excuse me. The village has an agreement in place with the Lyons Township High School District Number 204 to provide a full-time school resource officer, or SRO, since 2018. The purpose of the agreement is to promote safety and a positive school culture for students, staff, and families at the Lyons Township High School North Campus, enhance trust and relationships between students and law enforcement, facilitate appropriate information sharing, and to outline the villages and school districts' collaborative relationship to best serve the school community. The terms of this agreement have been updated to include provisions related to establishing reciprocal reporting, digital image access, and cost sharing for the school resource officer. Under the terms of the proposed agreement, the school district will pay the village 75% of the total salary, costs, and benefits for the assigned school resource officer, as compared to the school district paying 50% under the current agreement. Costs and benefits include health care, pension benefits, and overtime costs for duty that is direct result of SRO services to the school district. The addition of reciprocal reporting and digital image access provisions allow for critical information sharing that benefits both the villages and school districts' mutual interest in maintaining safety. Overall, the agreement provides an excellent opportunity to foster positive school-police relationships and work collaboratively to maintain the safety of all students, staff, and families that are part of LTHS North Campus community. I'd like to move to approve of the resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Board of Education of Lyons Township High School District number 204.
Thank you, Trustee O'Brien. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Thompson. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Peterson.
Aye.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. It's been always a great working relationship with Lyons Township, and we look forward to continuing that. And Chief Griffin, thank you and to your department for all the work, not only with the school resource office, but I know that you work very closely with the high school to make sure that it's as safe as possible. So please thank your team for that. Moving on, does anyone in the audience wish to comment on matters that haven't appeared on tonight's agenda?
Hi, everyone. Laura West, 140 Sunset. Tonight, I see a glimmer of hope. I've heard the phrase north of 47th mentioned in the budget with concrete numbers, a report from the engineer due in April. I'm optimistic. I'm excited. I know there's a lot of work going on, and I really appreciate the time and hard work that everyone's taking. These are difficult problems. And I am very glad that everyone isn't just saying it's too hard, we're going to throw our hands up in the air. And I know we are pushing through a lot of brick walls to make things happen. LaGrange is an amazing community. I love this place. There's so many things to love about it. I could go on forever. But everyone knows flooding is a dark cloud casting a shadow on everything good about this place. So anything that is done would be such an investment in this community and so needed to improve the lives of residents and continue this place for the next century to come. So thank you again, and I'm really looking forward to some future updates.
Thank you, Ms. West. We will be going into closed session following this meeting, but first, any trustee comments? Seeing none, you have to be pretty formal here. At this time, it is the intention of the village board to meet in closed session under sections 2C5 and 2C11 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act to discuss the purchase or lease of real property for use of the public body and to discuss pending, probable, or imminent litigation. The village board will not reconvene to open session, and no formal action will occur during the closed session. May I have a motion and a second to enter into closed session?
A motion we enter to close.
Second. Trustee Augustine. Thank you. Trustee Gale. A roll call vote on that motion.
Trustee Thompson.
Aye.
Trustee Peterson.
Aye.
Trustee O'Brien.
Aye.
Trustee Gale.
Aye.
Trustee Augustine.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously, and it's 8:27. We'll be moving into closed session.